in. You know, we have the youth who sometimes don't really know which direction to go into. They find themselves getting involved in all sorts of things, and it's great to have a sense of collaborative leadership with the youth, and also, you know, with what is currently at our hand.
So based on your experience, you know, taking part, you know, in the political process, especially the primary, what is your advice to the African community here in New York City, particularly in the Bronx, politically?
I would say that there is a need for us to recognize the importance of stepping up into leadership. You know, not only for representation as a people, but also because you are part of the community. And so when there's the opportunity to contribute towards whether it's the bettering of education, the bettering of the economics, you know, the bettering of livelihood, it's incumbent upon us, you know, to step up. There is a need for unification, indeed. That's why I was excited about the you know, the UAC, because there's that recognition of, oh, you know, let's unify. I would also encourage women to see their role in leadership as something that is valid and something that can contribute. I personally have a project called Speaking Wombs, which is to promote and to encourage the leadership of women, you know, and it doesn't have to be only necessarily political, but whatever it is, like just for women to not be afraid to use their voices, not be afraid to create, not be afraid to invent, not be afraid to take up political positions. So that is something that I feel is quite important within the African community. And yes, like I said, you know, we need unity. We need to also understand the laws of the country. We need to understand our importance towards it, and just how we can be more effective. And also, you know, if you recognize something that is working, like an entity like the UAC, if you recognize something that is working, you know, it's best that we don't always fix ourselves in trying to reinvent the wheel, but to rather just add on to what is working.
Right. You know, as you know, reports have indicate that there are so many, you know, African students in universities and colleges, and according to these reports, they are among the top achievers, you know, as a group. And obviously, maybe because, whatever the reason is, what is your advice, you know, to these students who are now, you know, enrolling in these schools and, you know, hoping to take the leadership later? What is your advice to them?
My advice would be, whilst you're in school, focus on your education. Not necessarily to a point where you don't have anything else to do, but do it, whatever you're doing scholastic, you know, with your scholastic endeavors, do it to the very best of your ability. And understand that your preparation in order to get the degree you're looking for is not just for your own progress. It's a collective progress. And you add on to the bigger picture. So when you see yourself as a student, don't just see yourself as, oh, you know, I'm going for my bachelor's, whatever have you. See yourself as a valuable asset towards Africa. You know, we need educated children, and not only towards Africa, but also towards the world. See yourself as somebody who can contribute. And so you being in school is an investment, you know, an investment towards yourself, but also an investment at large. So yes, just, you know, focus on your studies, know what you want, and make sure that whatever you do to the very best of your ability.
So since you wrote 2 books,
Yes.
and you know, and I'm sure there are a lot of individuals who have the desire to publish books or to write books. Would you be able to help them publish their books?
Indeed, I have a publishing business, and that's what I do. That's actually, in the long run, what I would like to focus on is publishing and production. So I publish books, and I'm able to publish not only for myself, but for others as well. My firm is right now somewhat, I wouldn't say it's grassroots, but we're establishing ourselves as being, a recognized publishing firm. So yes, I would love to hear from writers out there. There are also various organizations. I can give an example: the African Writers and Journalists Association, which also is a platform for African writers, or even writers, to come together and to have their work, published, or to at least have the platform and to network. So yes, that is what we do.
And if that's so, then what is your contact information for the audience?
Okay, so right now I have, you can contact me via email, which is ndalihousepublishers@gmail.com. And also I have my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/author Ndali Kashume.
Okay. I don't know if they can get that name, but just Google the name or Google the show. Now let's talk about the heart of this program, which is the promotion of the African Union.
Okay.
The program is called the African Union Profile, so that we bring individuals that have some type of connection to the African continent, and we are somehow disenfranchised because of our lack of unification. The African continent, or the Africans, are the most disenfranchised in the world. I mean, you go anywhere, even let's take Brazil, for example, where you have the largest African population outside of the continent. And you see Brazil is rising and achieving economic goals and everything. But, again, the African community in Brazil, just like many other African communities, are among the lowest in the economic ladder, educational attainment, and, poverty, violence, and whatever. How do you feel about a stronger African Union?
I think this is, it's obviously the desire, I believe, of any African person to see a stronger unification within the African Union, or, within the continent collectively. I also do believe in generational leadership. I don't know if this is a term, but it's the way I see it. I do believe that it is important for the generation of now to find a way, or to at least be in a position where we can establish a collaborative leadership between, let's say, the generation now, the youth, and the generation of yesterday. This, for me, helps to balance the leadership, because, the generation of today will be coming from a standpoint of fully understanding to grassroots level what it is that we need as a people, because, this is our time. I would also love to see more women in the African Union. I do believe that women have a lot to offer in leadership. I mean, even if you look back into history, in the 19th century, those times you had women being the chiefs of kingdoms. Women were that time recognized as leaders, and not to sound biased, but things were done in a certain way. So I also do believe in incorporating more, encouraging more female leadership, to create a wider and broader scope of what the African Union could possibly do for the continent.
So how do you feel about Africa as a continent? Do you think Africa is making a progress or regress? What do you personally think?
That's a good question. So when one hasn't lived in Africa, it's easy to have a certain idea of what Africa is.
So I guess I have 2 minutes left.
Okay.
So I guess we keep that question, and then when we come back, you answer the question. Is Africa making a progress or regressing?
All right, sounds good.
Anyway, with that, my guest was Ndali Kasume, as you heard her eloquently stated her personal stories, personal experience, and personal opinions about, what she spoke about. And, we're glad to have her, to be a light, in the African community, showing, everybody that you can do it. You come to New York, you do it. So with that, I thank you very much for watching us again, and I want you to continue to follow us up on, again, on the website, muslimcommunityreport.com, and all our contact information is there. And for more information about Ndali and her books and her publishing company, contact us. Contact us. We'll make sure that you talk to her, and she can assist you with your book writing endeavors and book publishing endeavors. So with that, again, I thank you, and I thank you, and I thank you, and I want you to continue to watch this show, which is also on BronzeNet, channel 69, every Friday, 8 to 9. Every Friday, 8 to 9, BronzeNet, African Union Profile. And if you want to be a guest to the show, please contact us. And any question, any issue, let us know. God bless, and have a pleasant week. Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
Jamima wa kele soro nura ko wole kamarenya risa.